Welcome to the creative brain of Dean Hawk. Get ready to be challenged, inspired, and equipped to become a better ministry leader.
Hey everyone, welcome to this month's podcast. So glad to have you guys join us. Maybe you're on vacation when you're listening to this, or you're taking a few days out, maybe going camping with the family. We're in the middle of the summer, and so I hope you're having a great summer break. Do something intentional to get away. Kim and I just got back from a trip. We were celebrating our 35th anniversary, and so we had a great time together and getting away. I hope you are as well this summer. Hey, this month I want to take just a few minutes of your day today, and I want to talk about being a dream chaser. You know, I think one of the things that happens is when I first came out of Bible college, I started and I ramped up, and I had all these dreams and goals and ambitions, and I can say this: the longer I've been in ministry, the more it seems like the dream is chipped away at and maybe doesn't look as fresh and as vibrant as it used to. And I can tell you at different times of places where I was in ministry and going through different highs and lows, whether that was personal situations that we were facing or ministry circumstances and difficulties, the dream seems to fade, and sometimes it seems to be more of a memory of the past than a dream that's charging us forward. So I just want to talk to you a little bit about it today. I want to inspire you. How many of you remember the Amplified Classic version? And I want to read to you Ephesians chapter 3 and verse 20 out of the Amplified Classic, the original Amplified version translation. It says, "Now to him who, by in consequence of the action of his power that is at work within us, is able to carry out his purpose," and I love this, "and do super abundantly, far over and above all that we dare ask or think, infinitely beyond our highest prayers, desires, thoughts, hopes, or dreams." I'm telling you, that scripture rocks my world. And earlier this week, I was just doing my devotional time. I kind of hit that, and I went and looked at it in multiple translations. And when I read it out of this one, it just jarred me to have that excitement, that ambition that we cannot even think, dream, pray, hope, desire, or imagine beyond what God has for us. That his ways are higher and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts, and his ways are higher than our ways. And I think sometimes we forget to dream big. And there's a lot of reasons that happens, and there are a lot of what I would call dream killers that take place. You know, we look back at Joseph, and his dream killer was his family. And maybe you've shared your dream with a family member and they've went, "Not you. That will never happen with you." And so I just want to challenge you that whatever that dream that God has in your heart, to open that thing up again and begin to pursue it. You know, our thoughts have tremendous power to work for us or against us. And we're all faced with obstacles, and we're faced with worry and fear, and we're faced with those challenges. My son is in his mid-20s, and he lives in LA, and he called last Friday, and he said, "Dad, I'm taking a friend of mine that's from Mexico. His dad lives in Tijuana." He said, "I'm driving a friend of mine to Tijuana. His dad's dying, and he needs a ride down there to get down there. He's going to pay me to take him down there." And I was kind of like, what's going on? And it was legit. And they go to the hospital, and thankfully the son got there before the dad died, and ended up dying later that day. Long story short, my wife and I on the Saturday, we get a phone call from our son, and this is the phone call that he says to his mother: "Mom, can you transfer $100 into my account? Stop, just back off, just give me a second. I said I'll just," and then he hangs up the phone. He's in Tijuana, Mexico. he needs an extra $100 transferred into his account, and then he won't answer his phone call. Let's just say we had opportunity to have negative thoughts. We had opportunity to have a little worry and a little anxiety. And long story short, some of the wonderful police department of Tijuana were hitting up an American kid and took his wallet, his license, his ID, his phone, and were demanding $300 to get it back. It was a bribe. And so anyways, through some negotiations, he got it all back, cost him a little bit. He learned a valuable lesson. But I can tell you, for the 20 hours from that phone call until we heard he was back in the USA, we had to be intentional on controlling our thoughts. Once again, in 2 Corinthians 10:5 out of the Amplified Classic, it says, "Inasmuch as we refute arguments and theories and reasonings, and every proud and lofty thing that sets itself up against the true knowledge of God." Here's what I would tell you. The true knowledge of God is your success and your dream that God has put in your heart coming to pass. And there are all kinds of lofty thoughts and reasonings and theories and arguments that are going to try and rationalize why your dream can't come true, why you shouldn't reach for the stars, why you shouldn't pray and believe God and trust God to do that vision and that dream that's on the inside of you. And so it goes on and it says, "And we lead every thought and purpose away captive into the obedience of Christ, the Messiah, the Anointed One." And so we have to bring our thoughts into captive and say, is this going to fuel my dream, or is this going to punch a hole in the gas tank of my dream and end up draining me of my future potential? Here's the way I would put it. If we never dream it, we're never going to see it. And if we can't see it, we're never going to pursue it. And if we don't pursue it, the odds of it happening are zero. But I think a lot of times the callousness, the wear of the world chips away at us, and we stop dreaming. And I challenge you as pastors that maybe you've stopped dreaming that your church is going to grow beyond where it is. Maybe if you stop dreaming that you can have a greater impact in your community, in your city, than where you are right now. And one of the dream killers that I know has stopped me is the fear of failure. And here's what hits all of us. What if it doesn't happen? What if we don't make it? What if we don't achieve it? And it kills our dreams before they're ever given birth, or they're ever voiced, or they're ever pursued. It's like, no, it's not going to happen. Or maybe you've tried it before and you didn't see success. Or maybe nobody else is doing that thing, that idea that God has birthed on the inside of you. And it's something unique in there. When God challenged me to... I heard of one other church back on the East Coast that had an ice cream truck, and they were going out in their community. And when I heard that, it wasn't something, I haven't heard of any other churches having an ice cream truck that goes out and gives free ice cream away and invites kids to church. But I can tell you, for the last 4 summers, it's been an amazingly fun outreach to just bless people. And here's the way we say it. We want to leave a good taste in their mouth about God and about church, that it's a free gift. And it's funny because a lot of the parents are like, no, we need to pay something. We're like, it's already been bought. It's already been paid for. And then we'll use that as an opportunity to share Christ and the free gift that God has given to us. And you can't buy. And so it just becomes a great ministry outlet and opportunity. But there's not anybody else doing it. And so sometimes you can feel weird in the dream you have because it's not common. It's not what everyone is doing. And I know this, God has placed some things in your heart that are uncommon. Some things that are going to set you and your church and your ministry apart from maybe what other churches are doing in town. I heard that Pastor Craig Groeschel is several of their campuses are doing church on Monday nights. And I say, why not? I'll do it on Tuesday mornings if that'll draw somebody to Jesus. I'll do it on Thursday afternoons if we think it could draw a crowd. And so I dare you to dream. The only failure is if we never dream. Then we've really hit it. Or if we dream and we don't pursue it. And that's what I would say is in my heart today, that a lot of you have a dream that has been maybe laying on the shelf dormant for a time or a season or a decade. And I dare you to pick that thing up and blow it off and begin to reach and stretch for that dream again. Because here's what I've realized. If I have a big, audacious, hairy goal, they call it a BHAG, a big, audacious, hairy goal, and our big, hairy, audacious goal would be what it would be a BHAG. If I dream big and I only reach 20% of what I'd hoped to reach, guess what? We've advanced kingdom purpose and advanced the kingdom cause. Right now, here in 2018, I'm trying to get finalized this summer. Our 10-year, 11-year goal. We just turned 14 years old as a church last month, and I'm really trying to dial in. Where do we want to be by our 25th anniversary as a church? And see, some of you, I'm even apprehensive to say it now because I know what some of you are going to think. Oh, there's no way. In my heart, my goal is that within 10 years, our church would be running over 15,000 people on weekly attendance. It's not that number represents probably 30,000 that are going to be involved in participating in our church. And it's not just to reach a goal, but it's to reach an influence within our community. And see, I still feel like I have to explain it because I feel like some of you are judging me. And so that's one of the things that we all face in sharing our dreams. And so this year, my heart, the number the Lord challenged me, we've been running around 1,500, maybe bumping into the 1,600. And the Lord challenged me that we need to grow in 2018 by 30+%. That we need to be running over 2,000 by the time we hit January 2019. And if we're, in order to reach 15,000, we've got to see movement. We've got to expand our ministry. We have to expand our influence. We have to reach more people. We have to train our people how to disciple. It's not just a dream, but we begin to put strategy, and we dream big, and then we backstep it down to a 5-year goal, a 3-year goal, to a 1-year goal, to we have a quarterly goal of we need to be reaching X amount of people. We need to have X amount of newcomers coming through the door and making a difference. I dare you to go to the secret place of the Father. I dare you to go to that quiet place, whether that is a park, if it's in your car, if it's in your basement, if it's in your attic, wherever it is, by the river, by the stream, in the mountains, in the meadow. I dare you to go to that secret place and just get quiet and say, God, give me your heart. I want to see and know beyond what I am seeing, and I want to expand myself. I want you to stretch me. They say a rubber band is only useful when it's stretched. And here's my challenge. Have some of you become comfortable? Have some of you let the what's the word I'm looking for? The elasticity. You've stopped stretching yourself. Maybe you've stopped stretching yourself in your personal growth time as a believer. Your development as a leader and reading books and listening to podcasts, and maybe you've kind of pulled back from that. I dare you to stretch yourself and to stretch your dream and let God do something on the inside of you. And I dare you to be a dream chaser. Chase after the dream that God has put in your heart. And I'll close with this. Some of you might be saying, well, I could have done that if I was younger. And here's what's interesting, is the young guys that are listening say, well, if I was older, I could accomplish that. It's just the enemy trying to come at each of us on both ends, or whether we're in the middle of life, to try and say, don't push, don't pursue. I'm reminded that Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders, I think, and Mark, if you know, was he like 65? Somewhere in there? You guys can check me on it. I'm pretty sure he was 65 years old that when he actually launched the whole KFC brand. He has since passed, but his legacy of chicken lives on behind him. I'm in my 50s, and I'm looking that I've got another 30 plus years, 40 years that I'm going to run my race, and I want to finish my course. And here's the way I put it, guys. I'm just getting warmed up. The engines are running. I'm a thoroughbred, and I've found my stride, and I'm running for the finish line. I don't want to coast into the finish line. I want to be in an all-out sprint when they set me down and they say, "You're done. Well done, thou good and faithful servant." I love Tommy Barnett and his passion that as he gets older, it seems like the man just runs sharper and faster in pursuing the things of God. Hey, dream this week, dream big, chase the dream that is in your heart, and watch what God will do. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Hope that you pass this on to your friends if you think it could help them. It's on YouTube. It's in iTunes. It's audio version, video version, whatever suits your fancy and helps you out. I look forward to seeing you guys next month. God bless you.
Thank you for joining us today. For a free sermon series and teaching outlines by Pastor Dean, visit us at deanhawk.com. Be sure and join us next month as we continue our growth on leadership.